Diamonds, diamonds, diamonds. At Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, Rick is buying and selling a woman's best friend, diamonds. Stop in now and check out the wide selection from Chattanooga's premier jeweler, Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road in Chattanooga. Before you buy, let Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds create that special gift for you. Diamonds, diamonds, diamonds. At Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road in Chattanooga.
Cougar Radio 92.7.
It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Cougar Radio 92.7 Sports now.
Well, good evening to you. Welcome to the Locker Room Show. I'm Sam Jordan. Glad to be with you wherever you may be. Don't forget, you can tune in to us on Facebook Live and also on YouTube. And if you'd like to ask a question or comment about tonight's show, you can do so on Facebook Live or call in at 423-800-8949. And we've got a very special guest. Want to give you a little bit of a program update. A little bit of lightning going on and some hard rain down in downtown Chattanooga. And they have pushed back the start time for the Erlanger Kickoff Classic going on at Finley Stadium down at the Fort. And the kickoff for the Chattanooga Central Walker Valley game will be at 7:05. And then probably between 9:15 and 9:30 tonight, we will have the Baylor Notre Dame game for you here on Cougar Radio 92.7 FM. Nick LaFew, Keon Rose going to be bringing you that broadcast. So we'll have our regular stuff going on tonight with the Locker Room Show. And also then two millennials talking. Possibly Keon will be able to talk from Finley Stadium with Russell Stroud, the co-host on that show. So just want to give you that little bit of a program update because we were looking at going on with the football broadcast at 8 o'clock with the countdown to kickoff and then followed by the kickoff around 8:30. All right, with that all out of the way, I've got this gentleman here, Scott Schrader from Chattanooga Roofing Contractors here in the studio with us. Good evening, sir. Well, hold on. Let me now try it again.
Let's try that again. Thanks for having me.
All right. Scott is the president, CEO, owner,
all
garbage taker, outer,
Yep.
everything that can be done at Chattanooga Roofing Contractors. Tell me and our listeners out here what Chattanooga Roofing Contractors is all about, what you do, and the sort.
Well, so we are a residential and light commercial roofing contractor. We handle everything from shingle roofs, metal roofs, some TPO, single ply membranes, but we do a lot more than that. What we feel like that we excel at is educating our customers on what they're actually getting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of guys will come in and they'll hand over a quote and say, call me when you're ready. What we wanted to do is sit down with people and let them understand what they're actually getting and just be a resource for people, not only on roofing, but getting them contacted with other contractors that can do other things as well.
Now, what makes you different from other roofing contractors here in the Chattanooga and Tennessee Valley area?
Well, I'm not going to say that we're the flat out best roofer in Chattanooga. Everybody tries to make that claim. There are lots of excellent roofers out there that take the time and do really good work. What we try to tell people is the solution to 2 men and a bag of weed roofing. There's a lot of guys out there that are roofing for beer money. And so what they end up doing is they don't have insurance. They don't have workman's comp. They come out there, they ask for money up front, and then they rush through it. They rush through it and you get a subpar product. Right. Your roof kind of looks okay when you first get it put on, but then at the end of the job, you really don't have a wind warranty. They didn't put enough nails in it, didn't put them in the right spot. And then when there is a problem, you never hear from them again.
Now, one of the things, because I've done a little construction work in my lifetime, do you see the trend going or staying the same or going away from shingle roofs and doing more metal roofs?
There are a lot of people that try to push metal roofs as a maintenance-free alternative.
Right.
And that is just not true. There's some things about metal roofs that people need to know. There's some definite maintenance that you have to do with them that a lot of manufacturers and installers don't let the homeowner know about. We focus on shingle roofs. I've done some of the largest metal roofs in Chattanooga. The Copper Dome on the airport, I've done that. The barrel roof over at the DMV on Bonnie Oaks Drive. So there's different grades of metal roofing that you can have put on. The cheaper you go, the higher maintenance that you have to do, especially when it comes to screws that are going through the metal roof. The neoprene washers wear out after 10 to 15 years. And that's one thing that a lot of homeowners don't realize, that after 10 to 15 years, you better get up there and start replacing all the screws on your roof. And if they knew that to begin with, they wouldn't have probably had it put on.
One of the things, and when I had my home up in central Pennsylvania, we had a metal roof over part of our garage and certain portions of my big 2.5-story house that I had. And it was like, we went to replace the metal roofing that was over our attached garage. Most of the time they're telling you, oh, you got a 40 to 50 year warranty on the metal roofing and everything. And it's like, then you go to find out, yeah, what you just said is exactly true, because if you don't go to replace those washers that are underneath, that starts to rust. And then it's like, okay.
And the rot of the wood underneath.
Yeah.
So then that way, when you go to replace that screw and put a new screw back in, it doesn't hold because the decking underneath is rotten.
Right.
And it's just, it's a downward spiral from there.
Now, what kind of products do you use with shingles?
So two of the brands that we stress to people to take a look at, we'll put on any brand of shingle that you want. But what we try to do is tell people there's two brands that we encourage people to look at: Atlas and a shingle manufacturer called Malarkey. Now, it is the worst name in the world for a company, but they make one of the best.
But you play off of that, I'm sure.
They say they're taking it back, but it's one of the best shingles on the market, because one of the most important things on installing a shingle is nail placement.
Yes.
So a lot of shingle manufacturers have got a common bond line that is about as thick as the width of my finger. So you've got to hit that line every single time to make sure that your wind warranty is intact. The Atlas shingle has got 1.5 inch common bond line. The Malarkey shingle has 1 3/4 inches. So as guys are up on the roof, it's hot, they want to get done, they speed up. We still have that accuracy to be able to make sure that when we leave, your roof has got a warranty. We tell people all the time, we want to take care of your roof, but we don't want to come back. Now, if you want to invite me back for a beer and talk about how nice your roof looks, I'll do that all day long.
Right.
But to come back and fix things that we didn't do right the first time, we'd rather just do it right the first time.
What do you feel are some of the key things that you hear from customers when you've had to come and fix somebody else's job that they didn't do the right the first time?
Well, so roofing has got more complaints with the Better Business Bureau than any other industry.
Why is that?
Well, the one common denominator amongst most of those complaints is people with the lowest price option. The guy that's roofing for beer money, as one of my business partners calls it, chucking a truck.
Yeah.
And, they get out of work, they throw a couple, a tarp in the back of their truck, they throw some shingle, a ladder in there, and they're automatically a roofer. And that's where people start running into the problems. Shingle manufacturing across the board, they're all pretty high quality, but where you get into the problem is the quality of installation.
Right. And how good your roof paper is.
Right.
And making sure that you don't rip up all the roof paper and not get all the way down to the OSB or general plywood.
Well, one thing that we do is we use the full system. So basically we use a synthetic underlayment. We don't use felt paper anymore. That's just not even an option that we offer. But we do, when we go ahead and tear things off, we take it all the way down to the deck, because we want to make sure that you've got a good solid deck to nail down to. So it all starts, it's just like building a house. It starts with the foundation. Quality of your roof starts with how good your roof deck is.
Do you feel that there's a lot of, not necessarily shucksters out there, but the chucking the trucks that are here in the area?
Chattanooga is one of those that I've heard from a lot of other contractors, adjusters, things like that. We've got a very high number of contractors that are doing business without a license, doing it without insurance. And, the homeowner feels like they're going to save a little bit of money, and they do on the front end. But when the problem happens, then it costs them a lot more than they ever saved. I tell people it's kind of like playing Russian roulette. I'm sure it's very exhilarating while you're doing it until it hits on the wrong cylinder.
All right. So I'm Joe homeowner out there, and, I bought a house. You got to have an inspection done. And one of the key things, as part of an inspection is making sure that your roof is in good shape. What would you tell the listener out there, steps that they need to do in order to make sure that their roof, is in good shape? I mean, step by step, if you can.
Well, one thing is, the first places you're going to start seeing any problems is going to be in your attic. Go up in your attic, look at the underside of the deck. You'll be able to see water stains. After that, what it really gets into is find a reputable roofer, somebody that's licensed and insured, call supply houses, find out who they recommend, and then just have a yearly inspection. Listen, you got to go ahead, and most people around here, even if you have gutter screens, you got to go ahead and clean your gutters out anyway. So while you're there, instead of just hiring a kid down the street to clean your gutters out, hire a reputable roofer. There's plenty of them here in town. And then have them come up, clean your gutters out, and ask them for an inspection anyway. It'll help you avoid problems in the future. If you've got one shingle that's missing can lead to entire squares of shingles being blown off because it's a way for air to get underneath and in a heavy wind start ripping things off.
All right. And I know that this is just one of a few entrepreneurial endeavors that you have to explain to me how the others connect. I mean, you're not just a roofer.
Well, so we do have our residential contractor's license. We also we handle painting, siding, build decks, and do a lot of other things. And the reason why we got into that is because my wife is an owner of a property management company. Okay. So we actually go and we find properties for investors that are looking to buy and fix them up. A lot of those are maybe depressed properties. So it just makes sense for us to be able to do a lot of that stuff in-house. So as we started doing that, we started bringing on people with more and more skills. And, now we just decided to go ahead and offer that to the general public.
Now, how long has Chattanooga Roofing Contractors been in the area?
Okay. So Chattanooga Roofing Contractors is kind of a new entity, that we've started back up. We've been in business officially under this name for about 2 years.
Okay.
I've been in the industry for about 25 years. I tried to get away from it, kind of like I think it was Silvio Dante from the Sopranos that said, "Just when I thought I was out, they brought me back in."
Right.
Yeah. So, but I come from a long line of roofers. My great grandfather started J.D. Hilton Roofing Company here in town in 1933.
Wow.
And so there are multiple Heltons and Schraders that are in the commercial roofing business. But I decided to kind of open up shop and start servicing more on the residential side and then doing some commercial and building maintenance.
So I'm assuming that with your crews that you have working for you, I mean, you've got probably well over 25 years of experience, I'm assuming.
Well, I mean, as far as experience wise with everybody that's within our group, I mean, right, from HVAC to drywall, painting and all that, we've got well over that as well.
Okay. All right. And, people may be wondering, all right, we're talking about roofs on a sports show. But, we kind of got into that because you do other things with siding and remodeling projects and stuff. And one of the things that is a big growing area is having man caves. If you've got a basement that's unfinished, and it's like, I know when I bought my house back in 2006, it was like I had a huge basement, and it's like, it was never finished. I mean, the foundation and stuff was up, and there was fruit shelves down there that, we kept the fruit and stuff, but it was like, I wanted to have a big screen TV down there, a couple of recliners,
And a lock on the door where no one can come down and bother you.
Yeah, the boys can stay upstairs and do their thing or whatever. I ended up moving my man cave idea up to my upper garage upstairs until my 4 older boys decided, oh, well, this is going to be our hangout now, because we had like 5 couches up there, several TVs, and in a spare bedroom in case somebody, couldn't make it home, legally. But you guys also do those kind of things as well.
Yeah, we can do full remodels. It basically is down to the relationship that you have between you and your contractor.
Right.
Sit down, whoever your contractor might be, sit down with them, tell them what your vision is for it. If they don't, if they can't see what you're trying to do, and tell you what you need to do, find a different contractor. Because when it comes down to it, it's your place.
Right.
I mean, I want that too. I want the place where I can go down and watch the latest UFC fight in comfort on a huge big screen TV and have all my friends there. But you want it to be something that's comfortable, that's appealing, but at the same time also, maybe we're looking into things like, you're only going to be in the house for 5 to 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we might not want to go so drastic into something that's just specifically catered to you, because now we've got to figure in, well, what about the people that move in next time that the wife won't let him have a man cave?
Yeah. Yeah, no, my new one basically has told me that I can't have one.
Right.
And it's like,
and
why?
what can you do?
Yeah. It's their domain. Anyway, a lot of great questions, and you're hitting the answers that we're looking for. Probably one of the biggest things for a homeowner out there is making sure that they ask the right questions when they're trying to find the right contractor to do the job. What are some of those questions that you would suggest, when someone has got a project that they have coming up, whether they need to replace an entire roof? Do you do one side? Do you do both? Or, if it's a remodel job, say like in a kitchen, do you want to have an island? What kind of questions should people ask?
Number one question that a homeowner should ask before you ever let anybody onto your roof: are you licensed and insured?
Okay.
Because if you let a contractor onto your property to do work, if one of their crew gets hurt, that goes on your homeowner's insurance.
Yes.
And that guy is going to be gone and in the wind. You're never going to see him again until your lawyer has to hunt him down. The other thing is, what if they leave a project open? We're involved in a kind of on the back end, trying to go back after another roofer who left a roof open that it flooded an entire kitchen. Now there's mold spores growing in the walls. So you want to make sure that, one, if the guy is going to go through the steps to make sure he's licensed and insured, that he's probably going to go through the steps to take care of your property, because we carry $1 million liability, and our goal is to never use it. I want that to be wasted money. So if you've got a guy that's doing that, you can kind of be assured that, he's going to kind of take care of your property. The other thing is, ask for references, ask what other jobs they've done, get in touch with other people who they've done work for.
Should a homeowner act as their own general contractor on jobs? You
can do that. Now, one of the biggest things that a lot of homeowners make the mistake of, they get a guy, maybe he's not licensed and insured. It's a project about the size of, a roof, which can be on average anywhere from $6,000 up to about $14,000. And the roofer comes to them, or drywall guy or painter or whoever, says, "Hey, can you give me half up front? I'm going to need some money up front." Well, if they're a reputable contractor, most likely and with decent credit, they're going to have an account somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that just about anybody can go to a supply house, get a $5,000 line of credit, and then you pay your bill for a couple months, they'll up it because they want to keep sending you, having you buy from them. So that would be another thing, is watch out. Don't give any money up front, and make sure you have a contract.
Okay. All right. Now, Chattanooga Roofing Contractors does a lot of home improvement stuff. You've got a lot of knowledge. You want to educate the customer, but you've also got a big announcement you also want to make that is going to be coming soon. You want to go into that?
Yeah. So we're kind of excited. September 1st, we're actually going to be on this station starting September 1st, every Saturday from 10 to 11. It's We've Got You Covered radio. And what we're going to go into is there's a lot of home improvement shows that are out there that deal with you doing it yourself. And they want to give you advice on what kind of trim to use, what kind of door to use, things like that. But what we want to do is we want to help you navigate through hiring a contractor. Maybe you're too busy. Maybe you want to enjoy your weekend. So if we can help you learn how to navigate through those pitfalls of hiring a contractor. The other thing we want to help educate people on is, what about when you're do you know what your insurance policy is? What steps do you need to go through when you're refinancing? What about when you're getting ready to sell the house? So we can help out with a lot of things like that.
All right, we're going to talk more about that, and we got you covered coming soon to Nooga Radio, and we'll do that here in a little bit. You're listening to the Locker Room Show on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4, and of course at NoogaRadio.com. You can always join in by calling us at 423-800-8949, and also ask your questions on Facebook Live at Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Back with more in a moment.
Traffic, news, and information. Nooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
The TBI is on the hunt after a non-custodial mother reportedly ran off with her daughter. 12-year-old Briella Reese Bowling is missing from her Smithville, Tennessee home. Police believe Wendy Hancock is the woman who took her. The TBI is on the lookout for a 2018 silver Chevy Equinox, tag number BMK994. If you know where they are, contact authorities. There's a new emergency management director in town. Chris Adams, former fire chief, was named to head the agency. County Mayor Coppinger said in part, "I watched his development as a leader and knew he would be a terrific addition to our emergency management team when he became available." And 2 cars went up in smoke on Highway 58. Reports say the 2 vehicles were completely consumed. Photos from the scene show thick black smoke billowing from the windows of the fire. Fire investigators working to figure out what happened. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
David Toulis. I made the move 1 o'clock every weekday afternoon, 1 till 3, Nooga Radio.
92.7 Chattanooga weather.
It's that partly cloudy, warm, and muggy weather out there through your nighttime. Overnight lows only 70 to 73. Now for your Friday, scattered showers and storms will march in from the west, especially for the afternoon and evening. Highs dropping into the 80s with more scattered showers and storms expected through Saturday. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listing. And I'm Sword E12, meteorologist at your 4.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
I got my business up and running, and it's already expanding. I got lucky. Lucky because I found Signal Voice and Data. Signal Voice and Data can incorporate all of my business information sharing and communications seamlessly, keep my costs down, and let me work more productively with endless connectivity no matter where I might be. That's called working smart, not hard. Go to signalvoicetn.com and bring the future of communication to your business today. signalvoicetn.com.
Let's face it, Old Faithful isn't as faithful as it used to be. Constant repairs are a hassle and can rack up quick in money and time. Landers McClarty Ford can fix that. Right now, you can get a 2016 Ford Focus, 34,000 miles, only $11,491. A 2017 Chevy Spark with only 17,000 miles for less than $12,000. A 2015 Volkswagen Jetta with less than 21,000 miles for $11,991. Yeah, browse their entire inventory of new and new-to-you cars, trucks, and SUVs online at Landers McCarty Ford of Fort Payne.com. Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. If you can't find your next perfect ride, they'll go find it for you. Big city selection, small town prices, friendly service, and top dollar for your trade. The savings are waiting and only a short drive away, so what are you waiting for? Get started with your personalized shopping today at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Hello? Who am I speaking with? Eric, you're our winner. Really?
You'll receive tickets for all 3 races between the Camping World Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Monster Energy Cup races.
Holy cow.
In addition, you'll receive a 2-night stay at the Microtel Hotel and restaurant accommodations at 2 area restaurants.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Nuga Radio.
92.7.
Your NASCAR racing station. Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Do you hear that? That, my friend, is not what you're thinking. That is the new 2018 Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. Yeah, Indian. Indian motorcycle is more than a bike. It's an experience, an American icon. And Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga is the only place you'll find their new 2018 line. Are you ready to ride? Join the club. Go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look for the sign, 153 and Amnicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
Call 423-875-3600 if you're looking to expand your professional look of your business. Then consider the vast opportunities that are available when you locate your office with the Rains Group family. Remember, it's location, location, location. And the Rains Group has the location for your professional office. Check out the spaces for lease at Executive Business Park on the Lee Highway. Small or large, we will build to suit your needs with the Rains Group. Call 423-875-3600 for the business professionals with the Rains Group.
Chattanooga Paint and Decorating would like to remind you it's so hot out there. And guess what? Your deck is taking a beating. It's probably starting to show wear. If you're hosting friends, get your deck entertainment ready with a fresh coat of stain and protect it from heat, sun, and rain with a quality sealant. If you want to get to work, Chattanooga Paint and Decorating want to help you. For exterior paint, stains, sealants, and supplies, stop by Chattanooga Paint and Decorating today on Hickson Pike across from Valvoline or online at ChattanoogaPaint.com.
Nuga Radio.
Are you brain dead? Still voting for pathetic liberals? Take 3 hours of Sean Hannity from 3 to 6.
Nuga Radio.
Then call us in the morning between 9 and 11.
92.7.
Nuga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nuga Radio 92.7 Sports now.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Show with Sam Jordan here on Nuga Radio. I'm Sam Jordan. With me is Scott Schrader from Chattanooga Roofing Contractors. He's our special guest here tonight.
Normally, we only have guests on for one segment, but I mean, we're just getting into talking about some big news, talking about We've Got You Covered Radio that's coming soon, September 1st, Saturday mornings, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Don't be late, by the way.
I won't be late.
All right. And Chattanooga Roofing Contractors isn't just a roofing company. They do siding, they do home improvement projects, just about anything else that has to do with a residential or commercial property.
That's correct.
Give us, a little bit more of a insight as what CRC do.
Well, I mean, everything from painting, flooring, within our group that's associated with the property management company, and also what the services we provide for investors that are buying properties here in Chattanooga. We can run the gamut of just about anything. We're well connected with electricians, plumbers. Part of our group is has his master mechanical license, so he can handle HVAC. So all those things, it just became a natural to go ahead and start offering those services to just the average homeowner instead of only the property investor that's coming on board with us.
One of the biggest trends, and I've actually kind of delved into it a little bit on my own, is the art of flipping houses. You get people out there who think, oh, I can just go buy a property at the tax sale, or if I know that someone's getting foreclosed, go and take care of acquiring it that way and everything. But it's like sometimes when you buy these properties, you don't know what you're really getting into, because if it's been foreclosed, whoever was in there last may just go and destroy everything. And it's like, then you realize, because you don't always get to see it before you bid on it and everything, it's like you've bought a mess, even though you bought it for a song, basically. And that's where CRC can actually come in and they can go through each of the steps to get it fixed back up. Everybody gets this grandiose idea. They watch Flip This House or Fixer Upper and some of the other shows that are on TV, on the cable channels, like, oh, I can do that. But it's like most people get in over their heads until they get about 10 projects under their belt.
Well, but those shows are absolutely 100% true. Everything actually gets done within 30 minutes, and everybody makes a huge profit. And so that's the way every house flip ever works. You're always going to make $1 million and have a beautiful wife next to you that drives a fancy car, and so a lot of people get into that because
that's what you say with your wife, right?
Yes, exactly. So everybody gets into it thinking, hey, if they can do it on TV,
why can't we?
Why can't we? But what you don't realize is they've got a crew of actual professional contractors that are coming in, and where they're making their money, they're not doing the work themselves. Where they're making their money is on volume.
Right.
So they have a crew like us that comes in, gets it bought, gets it flipped, gets it back on the market. Now, in this market in Chattanooga right now, I mean, houses, especially if you have a house anywhere from the 130 to about 350, those houses, there's no inventory left. There are bankers that are actually begging contractors to go out and start building houses because there's no inventory left. And what inventory is there? I mean, within 24 hours, you've got an offer on it. By the end of the week, most of the offers are $20,000 higher than what your asking price is. This market is insane right now, and no telling how long it's going to run out. But, and the other thing too is people want to get into this, and maybe they've got a few skills, and maybe you started out doing your flip and you learn a little bit. It's a learning process. You make money, you lose money. But some people are starting to realize, hey, I'm good at flooring. I'm good at painting. I'm good at drywall. I enjoy doing this kind of work. So instead of going back to the job they hate, they're actually opening up, hanging their own shingle, so to speak, and going out and going into business. And that is something that we want to do with this show, is not just advise the homeowner, but maybe that person that wants to get into the trades. They have some skills and be able to go out and start your own business. God knows we need more people in the trades. There is almost a crisis level shortage of plumbers, electricians, drywallers, painters, roofers. And, we've all been told, and for some reason, we keep telling our kids that if you don't go to college, you're wasting your potential. It's a lie. If you want to, college is not made for everybody. Not everybody wants to go to a 4-year program. Some people want to go and they want to learn how to lay block. They want to, they're excited about going and doing HVAC or framing and stuff like that. So my advice to kids is get a summer job, try out some of that stuff, and take a few business classes. And then try your hand at it if college is not right for you. Because I'll guarantee you this, if you can run a successful construction company, that's your fastest path to being a millionaire.
Okay. What inspired you to come up with the idea of doing the show? We've got you covered.
Well, we've run into a lot of, when we go on jobs, there's a job that we're starting next week. A woman, after the storms back in 2011, she had a roof put on, and she had a guy came in with nice business card. And of course it had a religious saying on the top of the business card. And the man, told her about how he was a good Christian man and he was going to take care of her. And he came in and he put the roof on. And earlier this year, large sheets of the roof started picking up and setting over. And we're talking about 10 by 10, 10 by 15 areas. We're just lifting up in whole sheets and setting over to the side. And this woman is like, I paid this man over $5,000 to do the roof. My insurance company paid for it. Now we've gone out there where the insurance company's gotten involved, and they're telling her, I'm sorry, we can't do anything about it because this is not a problem with wind. This is a problem with improper installation.
Is there a statute of limitations for certain remodel jobs?
Well, there usually is. And the other thing is, though, even if there's not a statute of limitations, this guy probably, I mean, she can't find the guy. She can't find him. You know, all she's got is a piece of paper that he signed and said he would do it in a workmanlike manner. And, you know, so define that, you know, and there's no business license, no place to find him. And she's just out of luck. And we see that a lot of people being taken advantage of.
Is it a serious problem here in the Tennessee Valley area? I mean, it's, you know, I know you said there's quite a few of those chucking of trucks that are out there, but I mean, is it a huge problem?
I don't, it may define huge. I mean,
well,
if it happens to you, it's a huge problem,
yeah.
You know, and we just don't like seeing that. The other thing is for actual people like us, people like Romero Roofing, Langley Roofing, other companies out there that go out and that are reputable companies, and they go out and they actually take the time, do the things they're supposed to do. And now you've got a guy who doesn't have all the overhead from insurance. You know, for roofing companies, insurance is huge. I mean, for every dollar you pay out in labor, you're paying 50 cents out in insurance.
Oh, yeah.
And so it puts us at a disadvantage where we're wanting to be here and do the right thing. And we want to take care of the customer, where the other guy, he just wants to make some money, move on to the next thing.
Yeah. I know years ago when I was in between radio jobs, I worked as a set up and finish with modular homes up in the Northeast. And it's like, you know, I was making really good money. I mean, it was like $50 an hour or better for doing that. And we'd usually be there for like 3 or 4 days to make sure that everything was tightly knit together. But as a contractor, you know, you've got your boots, you got to make sure you got good steel toe boots. You got to make sure that you have good back braces, harnesses, you know, if you're up on a roof and stuff. But the insurance is what really kills a lot of contractors. And that's probably why we have a lot of rogue supposed contractors that are out there trying to do jobs.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you go in, and when you first start out, your insurance is higher. So so you've got to survive with the insurance premiums hurting you long enough for the insurance premiums not to hurt you.
Right. And that doesn't happen overnight.
Right. And then going in, and you go in, you sit down with the customer, you spend your time making the quote, and then you come in and you find out that this other guy, who you know is not licensed or insured, has just gotten the bid. And usually it's like the exact amount of the deductible, which is usually means that the roofer and the homeowner are colluding to commit insurance fraud.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. So we just want to help people navigate through that. And the other thing is just advice for homeowners. How many people listening right now know what kind of policy they have for their insurance? Is it an ACV or is it an RCV? Now, you might not know what those two different things are, but it makes a huge difference when you've got to file a claim. You could be only getting 40% of what it takes you to repair any damage that's to your house.
Other than what you just said there, what other things are you hoping that the listener out there, the homeowner, could learn or should learn from this show? We've got you covered.
Well, you know, we want to talk about insurance. We want to talk about, you know, we're going to bring in people that can give advice on refinancing. Maybe you're wanting to sell your house. What things can you do to your home to be able to get the most money out of it? You know, we want to talk to people about getting more people involved in the trades. Another thing that, we take what the advice we give seriously. I don't take myself too seriously. So we want to talk about, you know, what the listener wants to talk about. You know, we want to talk about, hey, where's a great place to go grab a beer after you work? You know, those kind of things. I mean, just the show can go where it needs to go. It's not going to be as strict as what a lot of others might do, but at the same time, we want to cover the material, and we just want to be a resource, not only for the homeowner, but for other people who want to maybe go into business for themselves. I believe it's Grant Cardone who said that either you will spend your life chasing your own goals and dreams, or you'll be used as a tool to help somebody else achieve theirs.
What would be the one message that we've talked about a lot of different things here in a short period of time. What would be the one message out of what we've talked about that you would want to convey as very important to the listener out there about this upcoming show and what it could offer and help them with?
Basically, for the show, what we just want to cover is, if you have any questions, whether it's going and having a bathroom remodeled, putting a new roof on, you want to refinance your home, you want to start looking into, if there's any particular problems you have, send us a question. Either go on to Facebook, contact us. If you have any ideas for the show, send them in. We're more than happy to take a look at those, get you answers. We're very well connected with people in other trades. And what we'll do is we'll bring those experts on. And if you want to know about why is it important to have an arborist actually come cut your trees instead of the guy who pulls by in a truck that says, yeah, I can cut that. Those are the kind of things that we want to help people out with.
So not necessarily the tree cutter or us.
No. That ends up bad.
Yes. All right. We're going to switch gears here a little bit. I want to remind you on a program note, the Erlanger Kickoff Classic is underway over at Finley Stadium. We just got an update with 6:26 remaining in the second quarter. Chattanooga Central is leading Walker Valley 20-3. Central jumped out early in the second quarter and has led the bulk of the way. Walker Valley, when they were in the Jamboree last weekend, pretty much got annihilated by McCallie and Notre Dame. So right now, Chattanooga Central leading 20-3. The game coming up that we're going to be bringing you is Baylor and Notre Dame. Because of the late start, because of the lightning and the heavy rain and everything, we're looking at around 9:15 or 9:30 for the start of that game. We'll probably be on shortly after CBS News at 9 o'clock with the countdown to kickoff, and then we'll join right in from Finley Stadium. Russell Stroud and Keon Rose should be being able to bring you two millennials talking coming up here after the news at 8 o'clock here. So if you millennials out there want to talk about millennial things, you can do so with them. Let's switch gears. You're involved in home improvement, but you've also been involved in the sports world as far as with mixed martial arts. Chattanooga is a growing area for MMA. Not a lot of people are very familiar with MMA. Yeah, you've got those robust little pockets out there, and it's growing. UFC has really exploded it in a big way. I mean, they got pay-per-views all the time, but we've actually got some good MMA action going on here in the Tennessee Valley, and I know you've been involved with it for quite some time. Tell us a little bit about that scene.
So in my former life, I was one of the co-owners of Chattanooga Fight Factory. We had an MMA team, basically trained fighters here in the Chattanooga area. But since I've gotten out of that, really just moved over into the fan, aspect of the whole thing. So, but there are some excellent teams here. One out of North Georgia, Blaylock's International Martial Arts and Boxing. He's got a kid there, Sidney Wheeler, who's been fighting all over the world. I think he just finished a fight in Morocco.
Wow.
So, I mean, this kid is an excellent wrestler, great pedigreed striker. And, I mean, he's fun to watch. He actually bested one of our fighters that I was surprised about, but can't say enough good things about the kid. He's supremely talented, and he's just a good guy all around. So, those are some other, there's some other jiu-jitsu schools that dabble in it. You've got American Killer Bees that are up in in Cleveland that are affiliated with Israel Gomez, who's loosely affiliated with. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the name of Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
So there's some good talent here in this area.
Do you feel like, with the names of Conor McGregor and Anderson Silva, Ronda Rousey, do you feel like that this sport has still got a lot of growth potential ahead of it?
I think during the time of, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, the growth potential was exploding. I think with some of the sale of the UFC that went on, that I believe it was AMI that bought them out. It was one of the largest sports transactions ever made. And so I think they've had a little bit of a setback, because you did have the people like Anderson Silva or Ronda Rousey, who are these big, high-level names. And
Brock Lesnar.
And Brock Lesnar. Now, right now, who do you have? You've got Conor McGregor.
And that's about it.
And that's about it. Brock Lesnar's coming back for a fight to fight Daniel Cormier. But right now, you've got the guy that Conor McGregor's getting ready to fight. They just announced a huge fight for coming up. I believe it's in the first weekend in October. He's fighting a guy named Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is...
Say that real fast.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy is a phenomenal wrestler, and I think one of the best fighters out there right now. He just doesn't have as much of a following. I think it's probably going to be one of the hardest fights that Conor's had to date, because we know that Conor has problems with wrestlers, and you saw in the Nate Diaz Conor McGregor fight that he has a problem on the ground. His ground skills are not as good as his striking. His striking is phenomenal.
One of the things that makes MMA different, when, a lot of people have gotten the opinions, when you see wrestling on TV, or some people say wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of stage acting going on with MMA. And I know from my one son that used to do it, there ain't nothing fake about MMA at all. Yeah, they may be friends out of the octagon and everything, but when they're in that ring, they're a totally different animal altogether.
Right. And, a lot of people, there are some people like the Diaz brothers. They've got to hate you to fight you.
Right.
You've got guys like Daniel Cormier, who is one of the nicest people on the planet. And so you've got some people that try to bring some of that showmanship from wrestling into MMA. Guys like Conor McGregor, guys like Chael Sonnen, people like that who want to hype up the fight, and that can be part of it. But, there's not too much crossover from UFC fans to wrestlers as there is from wrestling fans to MMA.
Scott Schrader from Chattanooga Roofing Company. He is going to be our new host on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Every Saturday morning with We've Got You Covered Radio. Make sure you tune in for that. We've got CBS World and National News coming up later on tonight. In the 9 o'clock hour, we'll have the Erlanger Kickoff Classic from Finley Stadium right here on Nooga Radio. Until then, we'll talk to you soon.
Traffic, news, and information. Nooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2,